Recording in oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are joining us from. We have a very exciting topic today. We want to show you the Wizer AI, and we're going to give you some really cool tips on how to create your own content in a matter of minutes. We have with us Itzik, who is our CTO. Him and his team are responsible for building this. So if you guys actually have questions, the plan today is to show you what you can do with it and stuff like that. But I know AI is an exciting topic. And if any one of you have some questions for Itzik, I may address them today with Itzik, or we can also answer later. But there was a lot going on here in order to build this. So that's just like another side thing that we can maybe talk about a little bit. And then we have Ayelet. She's running our managed services. So I think she's actually one of the reasons we built this. And because we had so many requests from customers over the years to create custom content. um, we never really liked it, creating custom content for customers, unless they were applicable for everyone. When they were applicable for everyone, we did it for free because that's what we do. We try to like come up with better content. But when things became very, very specific, on how to do things, specific on an organization way, we usually just said we can't do that. This is sort of not what we're doing. So we had a lot of those, and we figured out with AI today, you can actually do that. So this is what we're going to talk today: how you can take your custom policies, custom ways of doing things that are very, very specific to your organization, maybe dropping application names inside the scripts or referring to specific people or phone numbers or anything like that, that you want to create a video out of it. So this is the topic of today. And we're going to start off. I'm going to show you a few things, how it works, and then I'll hand the stage to Itzik and Nayela. I have a few questions for them on practically how it's working, how customers are using it, and what's in our roadmap. Because this is version number one. This is just the beginning. This is us putting it out there and seeing how people react to that. So far, we released it about a few days ago, and we got really, really good responses. Okay, so for all of you that have access to the Wizer platform, there is a new section here. It's called Wizer Studio. Okay, so here is what I want to do. I want to show you how we can create um, a video out of, let's say, for example, an AI policy. So I've seen a lot of organizations that have their own AI policies, because I asked Ayala before, why not use the Wiser videos? We have videos about AI. We have tons of videos about AI. But what we've been hearing from customers, they want to mention tools that are approved, tools that are not approved, how to connect tools, what to put into tools, where to put in stuff. So like being very, very specific. So I'll give an example. Let me share here before. Hold on. I want to show you what an example document. I just created it. So this is like an AI acceptable usage, using security policies, only use the approved tools. We can even list here which tools. I just created this for the demo. So this is what an AI sort of policy document will look like. Usually people will see this at the best, scroll, scroll, scroll to the end, and if there's an acknowledge button, that's what they will do. But we want to do better than that, right? So let's go back to the platform. And what we're going to do is click here, upload, and I'm going to select that file. Let me find it. This is the file. So I selected the file and I'm going to submit it. And I'm going to click here on the send, because I can add additional instructions if I want. So I'm going to click send. So what it's doing now, it's reading the document that I uploaded, and it's not just summarizing it and stuff like that. We're trying to create a Wizer video, and the Wizer videos are short and to the point. So we're gonna make videos that are, if it's a very long document, it can be maybe multiple videos. If it's a short one, it can be a single video. Wizer AI sort of decides how long it should be. And we're trying to get down to the point, like what I as an employee am supposed to do. So this is not going to be a summary of AI and why this is, all the background of like how things are in the world today. Um, this is straight into the point, the Wizer way. So it's creating it. It's still spinning. So it starts with the voiceover. So in the voiceover, before you create an animated video, you may want to read the script. So this is the script it created. You can edit it. I can just, change anything that I want here. I can just type in. So if you have something like that is very specific to you and the name wasn't right, or there's any type of mistake or something you want to clarify, this is where you do it. And then you can play it.
Artificial intelligence is a powerful ally in boosting productivity, but only when used responsibly. Picture this. Every time you use an AI tool, it's like inviting a guest into your digital workspace. You wouldn't want just anyone rummaging through sensitive files, right? That's why it's crucial to use only AI tools approved by your company. These tools have been vetted for security and compliance, ensuring your data stays protected.
So anyways, this is not a generic, AI script about how to use AI. This is based on the document that we just uploaded. You can upload a PDF. You can upload, I think, even a PowerPoint, Itzik. Is that true? I don't remember. You can upload a PowerPoint. You can upload a
That is correct. Yes.
different type of documents, and it will basically read them and it will create this. So let's say now I'm happy with this. Okay, again, I can change it, but let's say I'm happy with what I have. Now, oh, in this case, you can see there were probably a lot of things over there. So it created video number 1 out of 5. So this will create a full course for you. So I'm starting with number 1. While I'm talking here, let's generate part 2, because there's really no reason to generate part 2 and part 3 and part 4 if you're not happy with the overall, even the first script. So we broke it down to small chunks. By the way, everything you're seeing right now, that doesn't cost you anything. Like doing this back and forth, you can do it as much as you want. It won't cost anything, and you can keep on editing and playing around with it. So,
Gabby, we actually had a couple of questions
okay.
related to the different, is there a difference with the upload options between uploading a document and a policy? Maybe he needs like a PDF or a slide deck.
Yeah, it can be any document. I call it a policy. It's just a document. If you have a policy written in Microsoft Word, you can upload that. If you have a PDF, you can upload that.
We
If
did a
you can upload,
PowerPoint.
if you have a
We did a
PowerPoint,
PowerPoint. Mhm.
yeah. Honestly, you can potentially upload the entire GDPR, doc like it. You can upload a lot of things, and it will read. And even if the document is long, it's trying to pick up what's important for the employee. It's not going to summarize the entire document, because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to create a training where employees need to know what is expected from them. So as it's reading this document or PowerPoint, it's going to pull out only the things that matter to employees. If the document is educational and has nothing to do with what me as an employee need to do or not to do, it won't mention that. It will skip that part. So it will focus only on those things. Okay. So let's click animate. This will take, so this is the point where credits are used. Okay, only here. So everything that I've done so far, uploading, using prompts, what I'll show you in a second, changing the script, listening to the voiceover, all of that, you can go back and forth to draft, all of that doesn't use credits. Credits are used only when you want to animate it. So let's animate it. And now it's running. I'll come back in that in a minute because that part actually takes a little bit longer. It can take like 3 minutes or something like that. So I've created in advance, sort of like in the cooking shows, in advance, I created a video for you, but it's basically on the same topic. Now, before I show you the video, I want to point out that the idea of using these videos is to fill a gap. This is not going to be as good as the Wizer videos that you have. The Wizer videos that you guys are watching on a regular basis, these are hand-drawn videos. These are videos that we have an artist actually doing them. I don't think AI will be there very soon. There's a lot that goes into those videos, and we keep on creating them. We're not going to stop creating those videos. I don't see that if nothing like in the next year or so, 2 years. Like we'll keep on doing that. We're releasing every 2 weeks a video. So if you still have a topic that is missing, that is applicable for everyone, I suggest coming to us. But again, if you need to fill a gap, and you don't want to wait for us or we can't do it, this is basically what it is. So let's look
Artificial
at the video.
intelligence tools can be amazing productivity boosters, but using them wisely is key. Imagine AI as a helpful assistant. It's powerful, but only if you give it the right instructions and tools approved by your company. Using unauthorized AI browser extensions or plugins might seem tempting, but it's like handing your assistant the wrong keys, risky and unnecessary. Protecting sensitive
So you get the sense. It's basically right now, it's not as animated as we wanted to be. This is version one. One of the things that we're working on, and I'll let Itzik talk a little bit about it more. We're gonna have more movements, the hand gestures, all of that is coming next. But the idea is that you get this video, it took like 3 minutes. This is sort of what it will take here to pull a document, drop it, generate video, and you're done. Now you have a video that you can click save to library. And when I put it in my library, now I can use it in any one of the Wizer training that you have. You can create a custom training with quizzes and all of those things, and you can push it out. So Wizer AI is not about just creating the videos, it's the full cycle. You're taking a document, dropping it, a video is created. Now you can push it out with quizzes and all of those things to your employees, to your staff, to your colleagues within basically minutes. Now, if I want to change something here, so because I already pushed it out, I don't have here. I want to show you something. This is still running. Okay, while it's running, I'll show you a few other options that you can do. So you can also edit the frames. I'll show you that in a second when the video is ready. So you can do a lot of things like changing the frames and adding your own images. And so if you have like screenshots that you want to include in the video, if you have images of maybe staff that you want to put in the video, you can do that. We've seen customers putting maybe a Slack channel like where how it looks or screens on how to open a ticket, those type of things. We've seen people doing, which is actually beyond security awareness. We've seen customers creating tutorials on how to do stuff using this, but I will be able to show you that once we have.
Maybe we can answer some of the questions, Gabby. We have a bunch of questions there
Okay,
that
let
we
me
can
go back to
answer.
the
Yeah.
questions.
Yep.
Where are the video stores and will they be accessible for the company in a secure environment? Okay, this is actually a really important question. And I want to clarify something. So the videos are stored within Wizer, they're protected and all of that. That's just like any other Wizer video. However, the documents that you upload, we use other tools. We use OpenAI, we use some other AI tools which help us create those videos. So keep in mind that if you're putting any sensitive information or PII, we have subprocessors that we use them again, like OpenAI and others, to basically generate this. So we, in our terms and service, we ask not to share any financial information or anything like that because we just don't know. Even though OpenAI say that they sort of keep it protected and all of that, there is language over there that is on the gray area. So I wouldn't do that. That sort of that's just the reality of AI in general. When you're going outside and almost all the AI tools, which is what we teach, by the way, like all those AI tools use models. Those models are usually external, and those external models, we don't have control how they're using the data. So that's part of what we train for. So I'm trying to be clear here as well that we suffer from those same issues. So that's one thing. Um, is there a flat rate? Uh, it's basically on average, it's like 120 credits on a video. That's what we've sort of calculated. That's on average. It's not a flat rate, but that's sort of the average. Does Wizer training platform have to be used to take advantage? That's a great question. We're trying to figure that out if this can be used as inside a SCORM or not. Um, again, this is version number 1. We're now creating also part of the roadmap that we have is creating a SCORM generator. Maybe we'll include that inside. So we'll get back to you with that. So I don't have a clear answer for that yet.
There's
Oh,
one more question that was a little further up, Gabby.
okay.
Someone doesn't see the feature available right now in their console. So, is that something that needs to be
I don't
addressed?
know. Itzik, maybe.
Yes, some
So
of the customers who are partner customers might not see it because it depends on the partner, and we're working with the partners to enable that. That's the different path. Not all customers are seeing it right now.
okay. So if you can do you have the email for that person? If yes, we can reach back to them and see how we enable it for them. If not, yeah, just open a support ticket and we'll enable it for you. Okay. So that's that. Thank you for stopping me here for a second. So here is an example of that video. That this is the video we've seen that
Artificial
we created.
intelligence is a powerful ally in boosting productivity, but only when used responsibly. Picture this.
So let's say now I want to edit the frames. I can go in here. Not only I can change the text for each frame, I can click on the frame. I can either replace it with an image of my own. So again, this could be maybe instructions or screenshots on how to do something. I can replace it, or I can ask AI to regenerate this image from scratch. I can put in whatever instructions I want, and then a new image will create it. So let's say here is a tip. Let's say you want to add some text here, which is something we're going to add soon. That will be part of what Itzik is going to talk about. But let's say you want to do it now. You can just download this image, edit it any way you want, like add text in the middle, do something, and then upload it again. So you really have full control over the video frames, and then it's compiled and generated for you. Okay, so here are the frames, and you can change some small text, which doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to upload your own frame, doesn't cost anything. It really comes down when you generate the video. That's usually where the bigger issue is.
When you generate images as well, Gabby.
Yes.
Yeah,
But that's like almost nothing, right? That's 10 credits.
10 credits, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, and we can continue, all of those other other sections. Okay, so before I move to Itzik and Ayelet, let's see if there's some other. I just looked and I don't see
Yes, we
this
have
feature
just a
either. Yeah,
couple.
there's some others that are not seeing those features. Okay, there are.
Now, is this something that's part of the Boost free trial, or is this you have to have Boost purchased
Everyone's okay,
first?
so everybody gets 200 credits for free. Like, you know, when you log in, I think also in the free version. So if you sign up for the free version, you're not a customer, um, you have enough credits to probably create one or maybe even two videos on average. That's sort of what you have. And again, creating the prompts, you can do as much as you want, like the script and the audio and all of that. You can also, something that I want to show you, so you don't have to just upload a file. You can also put a prompt. So let's do this together. Let's do some HR attendance policy. So must be punctual, all of those things. I'm not going to read it for you. You can read it here. So I'm going to create a script out of that and let it run for a minute. And then, so you can prompt it anything. I was creating, when I was testing it, I did some fun videos like, and it came up with actually good things like how to shower my alien safely. It was funny, but it actually thought about it and it gave some good advice on, you don't know their skin, if it's sensitive or not. So like, it took into account things we don't know. So that was cute. So, but this is like a more real example, and let's see what it comes up with. So this is just for attendance. There we go. Mastering your attendance, your key workplace success. We had people do things like dress codes and other things. Like you can really do whatever you want. So let's listen to it.
Showing up on time every day isn't just a nice to have, it's the foundation of a professional reputation. Imagine your workday as a play. Being late or absent is like missing your cue, throwing the whole performance off balance. When life calls,
So you get the sense. You can also read the script. So this is really helpful, guys. Like, not having to write a script and all of those things, just this, even if you're going to use some other tools to create something, because the creation of the script and the audio is free, you can just like use this tool to come up with ideas and scripts that are tailored for training. Okay. So I've got a few
It,
questions here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Uh,
ahead, Gabby.
no,
I
I
was
actually
about to
wanted to
ask.
ask you questions, but I see questions are still pouring in.
Right, we had a
Uh,
few more about the AI voiceover. Do you have an option to change out the voices?
so all of this is coming. Yeah, this is a question that I wanted to ask Itzik, but
Okay.
yeah, and also languages, like any language. This is something that is like around the corner. Let's see what else. Where are the video stores? We spoke about it. Let me scroll down here. Okay, let me let me throw some questions on Itzik and Ayelet. Okay, Ayel, you know what, Itzik, let's start with you. Some roadmap stuff. Um, so let's talk first of all about the actual quality of the videos. What are we planning to do with the video itself? Like, because right now it's
Yep.
great, it does its job, but what's coming next in terms of the experience?
Okay, so first we're refining the videos and upgrading the quality of the video all the time. We're adding for the videos we're adding subtitles very soon. We're adding very soon, I mean matter of a couple of days, right? Adding text on the screen. So if you generated an image, it's all frames, right? So we're generating frames. Every frame you can edit it. Right now you can download it, edit it locally, and then upload it back. But it's going to be a tool in the system that will allow you to locate, to place text everywhere, or if there's a whiteboard or there's somewhere you want to put text. We're going to further invest in animating it a little bit, create some motion, some gestures and stuff like that.
Also
As
the
we
hand
go,
drawing, right?
this will become more sophisticated. We're not yet sure what type of animation. Is it going to be a hand drawn or is it going to be like animating the characters and so forth? We're working on a few options. It might be all of the above, it might be only one of them, but definitely making it a little bit more animational and not as static. We're working on capabilities to add an avatar. So if you want to add your team or someone on your team or your CISO or someone like that, like add their face or add someone from the team, you should be able to create an avatar and then include them as one of the characters. So it won't be a problem for you to kind of like
So we will create the
identify.
avatar for them, right? They upload the image of a person and then we'll create the avatar. They don't have to go and create it on their own.
Yes, that's the idea. So you upload an image and then we and make it more cartoon-like, right? So it's embedded within the same style of things. So that's in terms of kind of like the quality. We're further investing. So, someone asked about the voice, checking, selecting from a few voices. Right now, we're mapping voices to languages because, the AIs we're using to actually generate the voice care about what language, when, different narrators prefer different languages and so forth. So we're optimizing that. That's very soon. You'll have the ability to kind of like generate videos in multiple languages and so on and so forth. So again, subtitles very soon, and the other stuff step by step.
Cool. Regarding where do you see this sort of integrating with other Wiser features? So is this going to be just like I'm creating videos, or do you see a path here to integrate it with something else we have?
Absolutely. A lot of the other stuff we do can be integrated with that. Just a few examples that I want to mention. And if you're looking at phishing, right, today you're getting some static, instructions on what could go wrong with images, with phishing emails. Once you click them, you get that kind of like educational piece. Imagine that you could have a training that is very, specifically tailored towards the specific email. So if it was an Amazon scam, whatever, you're going to see a video that's going to send you to a training or maybe embedded in the landing page already. So you're going to see a video that actually shows you something, about that. We're also looking
Hold
at
on, hold on.
embedded.
That's actually really cool. So if they create their own phishing template, let's say they came up with their own thing, almost automatically, if I understand correctly, an AI video will be generated to match the phishing template that they created. So instead of red flags, people will be assigned, people that sort of failed or clicked will be assigned to watch that video. Correct? Is
Either
that sort of
assigned or within the landing page of
got
clicking, you'll see that video. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, we'll just use the power of AI to create videos that explain what went wrong with that email. But not only that email, like you said, the Amazon can be other type of Amazon scams that you
Mhm.
want to be maybe aware of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Another path or something we want to include is on the search options. When you search kind of like a video and you're not finding it, Wizer is going to allow you to go and generate it. Or when you start generating a video, but Wizer does have it already, maybe we'll point it out so you know that, maybe you don't need to generate it because we have something that already answers the need and so forth. And combination of all of that. And just to package everything in one big package. Imagine that, Gabby, with your example, you saw that you got 5 videos. Those are 5 separate odd videos that create a sequence of some sort. Imagine that you could create a course that the AI would help you to also put together quizzes. I see that someone asked about quizzes. I don't know if that's the question, but put together the quizzes as well through the AI process and actually create a course and hit a button, review it, and then launch a course. You have a full training that you just created by AI.
Which is
So
actually, this is, guys, we actually have that in a different experimental product that we're working right now on the Wiser for students. So this actually does that. We already have the technology that creates those quizzes automatically from the videos. But we're going to implement that also here soon.
yep, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Cool. What
that
about, so it took like a good 3-5 minutes to animate the video. And
yeah,
also 140 credits, I think, something like
yes.
that. Um, how is that going to improve, if at all?
Amazing question. So, first of all, just to be very clear about, you said, when are you charged? You are charged when we're generating images, period. In the future, generating animation. When we're generating something, a piece of, drawing or something like that, that's where we charge. What we're going to do is we're going to improve the performance, continue to improve the performance, and also reduce the price by using all sorts of technologies to cache images and to actually improve the speed and the cost of everything. So eventually, you're going to get a product that will allow you to generate, those videos much faster and much cheaper.
Yeah. So, guys, we're talking about like creating those videos down from like 5 minutes to like seconds. That's sort of like where we're aiming. And that will also reduce the amount of credits significantly. So right now it's about 140 credits, but I hope this will go down to like 30 credits or something like that. So you will be able to create a lot of videos within not so many credits. So that's sort of where we're heading. Again, this is version 1, so we're putting it out there, letting you guys play with it, giving you some free credits to test it around. Hopefully you can, use it already. But very, very soon, we've seen a lot of people using it. And the idea is to speed up the development process on our end and make the performance better and also the price way better. So that's happening as we speak. Ayelet, a few questions for you. So you're the person that is actually seeing, helping the customers do this, right? So
Right.
Ayelet was, even before we launched it, Ayelet had early access to this, and she was using that to work with some of our managed customers and create some cool stuff. So, um, what first of all, what type of problem did you see with customers that this helped you? Like what did they usually come up to you for? Like what were the type of requests they were coming with?
So a lot of them right now, because AI is right quickly taking off and regulations are starting to come in. So they're scrambling to create content to train their employees, right, on the policies. They're trying to get them out, but they also want their employees to actually understand and have the policy not just be something they approve, but um, something that they actually follow through with. So that was several of the clients I worked with were focusing on like AI policies, risk management around AI, and really focusing on specific protocols. Not just like you said, we have the generic training on what to do's and do nots and best practices, but they were wanting to focus on specifically. Here's the tools that are approved. If they're not approved, then here's the process you go through, right? And this is where they would be specific. And like Itzik was saying, like they wanted certain text on the slide or whatever, so that it was very, very relevant to their needs, specifically internal. So it was really customized. So a lot of it was for that. And some of it, like you had the HR policy, some of these random things that, generic training isn't going to satisfy. So a lot of it's more like the compliance side of it. But I will say one use case that I'm actually planning to do for our team internally is taking, I haven't done it just yet, but I plan to take a webinar that we did for our internal team for Wizer, talking about our password manager and best practices and how to use it. And I actually want to, I think it was a 30 or 45-minute webinar that Itzik and we went through and did. And I want to trim it down and get just the meat of it and put it as part of our onboarding process, so that our new employees will have that in just a quick snippet, and then they'll have the longer webinar for reference.
I remember
So,
that we spoke about it about, so the way you take that webinar, you take the transcript of the webinar, right? And then
mhm,
you just post it here. So it's
right,
not necessarily trimming the exact webinar to something short. It's taking the transcript of the webinar, putting it
right,
here,
right,
converting it to an actual training video that it was designed to be training versus a
right.
very sort of half an hour.
Sitting through, right? I don't want
Yeah,
to do that to our poor onboarding new
cool.
hires.
Which leads me to the second question. Some tips in terms of, should I do like I did here, like be a little bit more generic, and here is some prompt with some bullet points. Should I upload a document? Should I be very, very specific? Should I write my own script? Because guys, you can like, I've seen people do that. They go to the script, they say, nah, I don't want this, and they paste a script they wrote. So like, what do you think? What's some of the tips around that?
Well, I think like, part of the reason we designed this was to save time, especially because a lot of the people don't have the extra manpower, right? So we're trying to help you move faster. So what we saw was we had different versions. I had some clients who just gave us bullet points. Like I said earlier, we had a PowerPoint slide and it was literally just, bullets. And I had others that we had a long doc similar to what you uploaded, Gabby. And then those actually worked really well, either of those versions. And it did a great job taking it and, like you said, kind of focusing on the main points, the highlights, and you know, then you can edit it from there. Where I saw, where we saw and really struggling in getting it correct was when we were given a very exact not they use so let me back up. So basically what they gave us was they went to AI and they said they needed a script, right, for a video. And the interpretation that they outputted that we received was a very strict, like, scene one, it should look like this, you have someone on the side with an employee and shaking hands. Like, it was very descriptive of not just the content, but the actual scenes. And that was like a little too much. It went a little too far. And then it was like the AI didn't have anything to really summarize or generate for you because you did everything and it struggled to be with something so precise, right? If you're going to put that much into it, then I don't know how much time we're saving you. You're going to spend more time correcting it because it didn't fit your vision because it interpreted a different way. So I would say almost keep it generic and let it, and then tweak it after it generates, add in those specific points that you need to make sure it hits.
I actually want to tie this to something else that I've heard. If you ask, why use this? Like, I can just use Google. There's a lot of AI tools out there that create videos. So here, if anyone has ever, there is a difference between theory and practice. In theory, it should work. Here is what happens in practice. Um, Training videos, a lot of them are specific. For example, it says um, use a long password, right? A lot of the video AI generators are using real life characters. It's hard to like come up with a story where somebody is, even to explain the concept of like a long password or MFA or all of those things. You'll be struggling with redoing those videos over and over and explaining and explaining and explaining. So maybe you will be able, if you're a director, to come up with something at the end, but it's just endless. Now, the ones that there are some that are just talking heads. Um, it's just boring. Like, you have somebody just looking straight into the camera and just like talking, and they're trying to like move their head. You know what I'm talking about. So I've seen people feed those avatars, and you can do that. I would argue that it's just nothing is happening over there. It's very boring.
I would
The
also add, oh,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Gabby. I would also add that, the characters that we use, we actually even design certain roles, right? So that when we have that continuity, it's easier to say, I need, this manager type character to, be in this scene. And then we have like your superhero role, right? We have the attacker character. So we actually even have specific to um, kind of the context of work and the safety and security and attacker roles, as opposed to just, you know, um, stock video or stock pictures. Just again, to kind of those nuances make a difference when you're
Yeah.
sitting there.
And then even if you do use all those stock photos or stock videos, Then you have to take the voiceover and sync it. So again, this is not possible. You will end up spending a lot of your time, I would say at least a day to get something decent. This is just from like experience, and that's if you know what you're doing. It will probably take you a full nice 1 day to create something like that, versus here where we're talking about minutes and hopefully seconds in the very near future. And also the script is wiserfied. Like we're trying to keep the tone that we have across all of our videos, which is more conversational, lighthearted, something that cuts through the noise, no bullshit, all of those things. We worked a lot on fine tuning all of this so it doesn't come out like a boring talking head. Because at the end of the day, we want to achieve more than compliance, guys. Like we want to capture people's attention. That's why I also go back and say, use this when you have a gap. But if we have a video, our videos, the hand-drawn ones, they take a lot of effort to create. They're worth it. If you can find something we have, it will probably be always better than the ones that AI can generate. But if you don't have what we want and you want to be specific, then the AI is your way to go. So I just wanted to tie it to sort of what you said earlier about, also the characters and all of that. Okay, one more question. Um, how do I control what you're suggesting if I want to be on brand and I want to control the messaging because we are a serious company. We want it in a serious way. We are a company that believes in, I don't know, whatever it is. How do I how do I do that with Wizer AI?
So part of it is, you do have the ability to upload images and put them overlay in certain places within the script. And I think it's only going to get better right now. And so that's first off, you can upload your logo, you can add that, and you can put in, specific, like you were saying earlier, the screenshots of maybe a specific tool or something that is just unique to your company that you want to emphasize within the script. You can do that. And also, as you were showing earlier, you can go line by line, or I'm not line by line, excuse me, frame by frame at one point in the editing process, and tweak it and make sure you've got the right language. Like I have one company, they're very professional. They're consultants, and they have a very strict policy of language that we use the word colleague. We don't use employee or teammate. So things like that, we could go back in and change if the AI, used other terms to try to keep it more on brand. And then, like Itzig said, in future versions, it'll only get better where you can have on-screen editing and everything.
Yeah, and we were also talking about colors and some other things to make it more on brand. So again, this is version one. I would say even less than version one. But what we're excited about is, we're seeing a lot of people using it. We're seeing a lot of great ideas that people have for future capabilities that we're now adding. And AI has also made it easier to develop. So our development process is also faster. So a lot of those features, when I say it will happen soon, it actually is happening soon because like things have sped up in this AI world. It just becomes faster in releasing new features. And we're listening to you and we're able to deliver those features pretty quick, like the subtitles in a few days. The text on the screen is probably right after that. So there's a lot of things that we were going to do. Okay, so we also have here some questions about pricing. I think if you click here, you can see, so these are plans. We have plans, not, you don't buy credits, you buy a plan and it resets every month. So let's say you have 1,000 credits. So every month it resets and you have a new 1,000 credits to use. And right now it's about 120 credits to create a video. This will go down to around, I think, 30 credits, 40 credits. That's sort of where we're aiming, hopefully soon. Um, so anywhere between, I would say, 10 to hopefully very soon 30, 40 videos you can potentially create a month. I don't think most of you will need that much. I think it will be probably um, you will get the appetite, I can tell you that, because once you start seeing how easy it is to upload a document and get a video, your appetite will grow. And what we're telling some of our customers is like slow it down a little bit because you don't need to recreate Wizer. Like we have a lot of this stuff. That's why we're now talking about adding, into the search, we're also adding AI to help you better find our videos. Because we have a lot of the things you're asking for in the prompting engine. So that's roughly the prices.
There was
Um,
a clarification someone was asking about the 200 credits currently. Is that something that's going to also renew
no, it's a
monthly, or is
one
that a
time
one
right
time?
now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a one time to test it out. It doesn't reset every month. But again, we're playing around with some models. Some things may change. Um, Yeah, and if you want to play around with it and you need a little bit more, let us know. Reach out to us. Again, we're looking for those early adopters, and we'll be more than happy to get your feedback and learn and build this together. This is sort of always been the way we develop things here in Wiser, together with our customers. Someone is asking here about a dental practice. Yeah, here is the thing, like it's an AI. Like you can build videos about anything. We have so, but it is important question. We optimized the script generator for training. So for example, if you try to create an ad, it will the script will be written in a way where what is the employee supposed to do or not to do and stuff like that. So you will be like working really hard trying to make an ad with this, really hard. So I wouldn't suggest you to do that. So if it's like dental best practices, yes, because that's a training. Like you can do a training about, I think we had a school that did about blood pathogens or something like that. So again, like throwing needles in the trash bin. Um, so you can play around with it. Just keep in mind that it's optimized for training. So if you want to do a blog, I'm not sure this is the best tool. If you want to do an ad, I wouldn't say this is the best tool. But if you want to do a training, I don't think I've seen some other tools out there. Um, right now, we're, I think, way and beyond those tools, um, even with this version one. So, and we're really excited about what's coming next because we're very, very specific on training. That's why. Cool. Well, I thought this will take like 15, 20 minutes, but I'm happy there were a lot of questions here. Um, and we've got here a lot of questions, which was good. By the way, next month we have a really cool webinar about AI pen testing. We're going to have some really interesting discussions following a tournament that we had recently that we do every quarter. We do like a CTF tournament for developers and hackers. And last time, everybody came in with their own AI tool to try to solve those CTFs. So we've learned a lot from that, and we're gonna bring a hacker. We have Itzik on board. We're gonna have a vendor on board, and we're gonna basically ask a question: can AI really do good pen testing? Is it something that replaces tools that you have today? Does it take people's job, and how effective it is? And around secure coding, what does it mean to our developer teams? Can they rely on that? So that's going to be a really interesting webinar next month. We'll publish the date. I think we may have published it. If not, we'll publish it soon. So join us. And yeah, and thank you very much. It was great. It was great, reading your questions and yeah, building this together with you guys. Cool. That's it. Until next time. Thank you very much. And that's it for now. Bye bye.